Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max.
Welcome, everyone. We are the Geek Patrol, and our microphones don't have a stun setting. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Allan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And let's just get to it. In the house, one of our favorite people, Josh Mason, founder of Mason Studios, founder of the Covington Comic Con, celebrating its 5-year anniversary. What level, title did I miss?
What level lieutenant are you in the Covington Mafia?
There's a couple titles in there you missed, but those will work. Those are good enough, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Josh, we always love having you around, and we were going to call you a alumni of the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, if you ever Google the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, or I should say, if you ever go to YouTube and look up any videos, the most prominent ones are going to be your cosplay videos and the ones that have been made by Josh Mason. So
yeah, I think 90% of the time, if you look up an MCFC video, there's a pretty good chance it's probably going to be one of mine that I filmed at some point.
Yeah.
Or, well, if it has more than 5 hits, it's yours.
Yeah. Usually they get pretty good traction.
Oh yeah.
And so
I use those as promo at an event we were at one time when we had to split our group and I was by myself.
Oh yeah.
I kicked onto Wi-Fi, got on YouTube, and just played your videos.
I would be offended if you didn't.
Yeah.
There you go. And Josh, of course, is as we said, he's the founder of the Covington Comic Con, which is coming up October 4th at the Covington Civic Center. So today, expect some shameless plugs, but also a little convention history and a little bit of updates. But let's just start with this, Brandon. So the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, as we said. Josh, we're back at the Memphis Hilton.
So excited. I'm
God,
so excited.
Everybody loves it there.
And here's something even more fun. We are a month after you.
That's right. We're only a month apart.
You're October 4th. We're November 1st.
Yeah, we're truly sister conventions now because we're only a month out from each other.
Yeah, because you said going to the convention spot. We were your first convention in 2012, right?
That's right. So, back in 2012, it was, and now I've been to hundreds of conventions all over the country, but it all started with MCFC 2012. That was my first con ever. Got me hooked, got me addicted, and then that was what eventually spawned the idea for the Covington Comic Con.
I have a question.
MCFC.
I have a question. Is that where you screened No More Sorrows 3?
I did. I screened that, starring the legendary Allan Gilbreth as the Honey Badger. That had its premiere at MCFC one year.
Oh, yeah.
Never going to forget that, are you, Brandon?
Well, no. Here's the reason why I'll never forget it. First of all, it was the first movie of Josh's that I actually saw. I've seen many of his. I've seen many of his things since, and I will say that he is excelling now. And
thank you.
Mason Studios. I mean, I've seen some of the promotional stuff you've done. I've seen some of the graphics you've done, the videos you've done for the conventions. I mean, and you've been connected to. Us. You run through Mid-South Con with your cameras. You did the Ren Fair. You were the king at the Ren Fair. Last year.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I was. I was literally King Arthur.
Right.
I was dressed as King Arthur.
And I mean, so, and now you're like hitting up like the fan expos and everything else, still doing these cosplay videos.
Yeah.
That are just, they're amazing. And I think that a cool part about that is that a lot of cosplayers that we know are shy. They use their cosplay to kind of be extrovert for a minute. And you display that confidence like across the board. Everybody loves being a part of those.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's part of the goal there is to try to give them kind of an outlet to show themselves in their best light, and that's what the cosplay videos do is I think it shows the talent that these cosplayers have.
Right.
Because, it's a lot of talent to not only make those costumes, but then a lot of times they're staying in character while they're cosplaying the characters and things. But, no, I owe y'all a lot for a lot of the stuff I've gotten to do as far as some of these really big conventions around the country, like the fan expos and everything. Because if I had not got my start filming with MCFC, then I never would have eventually grown to doing, partnerships with these other cons around the country. So y'all are to blame for everything.
Sorry, guys.
I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad your first experience wasn't the 2010 Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention because you may have never come back.
So. Oh no.
I don't have a lot. I mean, that was not one of our. It was the first one.
You had poison ivy in your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
First one's always going to have some learning curves.
Yeah. but the Memphis Hilton is by far our favorite venue. We were there from 2012 to 2016, which is actually 5 shows. And then, because of different whatever, things always happen with venues and you have to move. And we're back, though, and we decided we're going to just do a full-blown we're just doing this all on Saturday because 90% of our ticket sales are usually Saturday anyway. Yeah. And we've extended the hours, and we're just going pedal to the metal with nonstop activity, right?
And let's go ahead and rip off the Band-Aid. It was announced yesterday via our local Fox News that our former venue, the University of Memphis Holiday Inn, is officially permanently closed as a hotel.
Right.
It'll still be the Kim and Wilson's hospitality school, but the hotel itself is shutting down. So that just gives us even more, ammo to stay with the Hilton.
Well, and so we're doing a little bit of a different approach here this year because, here's we deal in brutal realities. Josh, we are street level. We speak the truth because you got to deal with the realities of our business. And the reality is we're not the only game in town.
That's true.
There was a period where it was basically us in like Mid-South Con and Shadow Con, and that was about it. But
then
the local convention scene has exploded now.
Right.
It's like one almost every other weekend, it seems.
So
pretty much.
We want to do something different. So we don't want to be a cookie cutter event. And so one of the things we're doing this year is we're including entertainment, and we're actually partnering with the local Memphis theater community, and we're going to have some pretty impressive performances, including, let me just get this real quick, we're hosting Through the Looking Screen, which is a one-woman operetta, and it's starring Jacqueline Cooper, who's a local artist. She's great. She's a singer and actress, and directed, and the music and direction is by Eileen Kuo, right. And she is they're very talented, and that's just one of the events that's come. We have more,
and this is an operetta that has actually sold out the Collierville theaters multiple times.
Yeah, and so
now
this
it's
is
included with your MCFC ticket.
This is it's all included. So think of it. We're going to get the theater people in with the geeks, and it's always fun when you mix groups of people that have never normally hung out. I think it's going to be great, and that's just one of the activities. As a matter of fact, Josh has got some activities, and we're going to hear about that when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. There's a reason blue milk has an expiration date, people. The Geek Patrol is back.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Allan Gilbreth, and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And in the house, our good friend Josh Mason, founder of Covington Comic Con, owner and founder of Mason Studios. He does a lot of other things, but those are the things that we mostly that's where we mostly intersect, you could say. And I just want to say before we start leaning into talking about what Josh has got going on, I just want to say that this year for the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, it is November 1st at the beautiful and spacious Memphis Hilton, the renovated Memphis Hilton, Josh. We are doing something a little different. In addition to all of the activities that we have going on, for the reasonable price of $25, we have really affordable tickets, Brandon.
Yes.
Kids 6 and under are free. We actually have tickets that are going to be kids discounted tickets. So from age 6 to 12, there is a discounted ticket price. But
are we going to do the packs?
And we're putting together family packs of tickets too. But we always like to do something different. And so our show, we are basically we are partnering with theater companies here in Memphis, and these are there is some talented people involved. And the Quark Theater is doing, as we said before the break, they're going to do a full production of Through the Looking Screen. It's a one-woman operetta, and it's set like in a modern context. This writer actually wrote an opera about The Office.
Right.
And it's a big show. I mean, they, like you said, they sold out all their performances, I think, when they did this last year. So basically you buy a ticket for this and you also get to go to the convention.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, so we're going to bring a lot of theater people into the convention, and that's just one of the other performances we're putting. hopefully by next week we can announce our second one.
Yeah, I'm hoping that everything gets locked in this week so that we can actually announce quite a few things come next week.
And the ballroom we're set up in is really nice. It's big, and it's got it's going to be a stage. It's going to be nice. It is going to be a beautiful environment.
It seats 400 people?
Yeah, 300 to 400 depending on how we arrange it. But it's going to be a theater experience inside of a convention,
which is going to be weird.
I mean, it's cool. I love it.
You know me. I love the spectacle. It's one of the reasons I'm friends with Josh. Is because Josh is the king of the spectacle.
Yeah. And Josh,
I try.
Can you tell us what you're going to be doing? Because this, and we should say this is at 4:00 in the main ballroom, through the looking screen. Okay, but then Josh at 1:00 on Saturday, November 1st. What do you've got going on?
Yeah, so we've got the Mason Studio 20th anniversary cinematic spotlight, which is going to be a screening of some of our older, more popular fan films and things we've done over the years. But then I'm also going to have some exclusive new surprises that's going to be footage and videos that people haven't ever seen before. And then there's also going to be a short video that I really hope you guys can make it for, because since it also coincides with the 15th year of MCFC, I'm going to have a little very nostalgic 15th anniversary MCFC video that will play as well.
And in celebration of your 20th anniversary, I just want you to realize I'm going to probably rope you into some classic argumentative panels, because
I'm here for it.
Me and you have done those in the past, and we have a blast because we can get downright dirty towards one another and then still walk away as friends.
100%.
Because it's all movie stuff. And if you can't get passionate about movies, I don't really want to be friends with you.
Yeah, and I don't know many people that are more passionate about film than you or I. So, we're two of the most passionate.
That's one of the dynamics of conventions I love is you can sit there. It kind of reminds me of that Bugs Bunny thing where the dog and the
dog and the wolf.
And the wolf, they're when they're working, they're enemies and they're trying to kill each other. But then when they get off the clock, they're eating lunch together. But Josh, you host good panels.
I appreciate it. We've had good turnouts over the years, especially at the MCFC. I remember when we premiered our Zelda movie a few years ago. We did a little Zelda fan film. And I didn't anticipate when I walked in the room. I think almost every chair in the room was filled. Like, it was crazy the amount of people. So we always have really good turnouts.
I'll be anybody who's seen your Super Mario Brothers Back in Business video, that concert at the end of it was filmed at MCFC.
At MCFC. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Josh, I'll give you credit on something else too, because I think people if you're out there and you're hosting a panel or a workshop at the convention, you can learn from Josh Mason because you're good at guerrilla marketing. The day of the convention, it's like herding cats.
It is.
If you want people to go to your panel, it takes some effort, right?
It helps when, not only will I obviously be promoting stuff at the booth, but one thing I do that's a little different is I'm usually hitting the floor too. Yeah. So a lot of times people come by my booth and I won't be there. And it's because I'm either filming cosplayers or talking to people on the floor and being like, hey, come to the panel.
Right.
And so I think you got to do a little bit of that too, You got to do floor work.
It's like I'm not going to cast shade on anybody, but guys, I put together a programming schedule, and that's as much as I can do as far as going. You got to be a part of. You got to go to this one. This one's going to be awesome. Guys, when Josh or someone like AG lets you know that they've got a workshop, and then you go in there and they can barely get to the table because there's so many people in there.
Yeah,
it's really cool to watch.
Yeah, so it's a cooperative effort. That's Everybody has to work. So, but okay, well, Josh, let's so we've done enough shameless plugging about the Memphis Comic and Fantasy
Convention.
There is
no such thing as enough shameless plugging.
You can get your tickets now, and we have a handful of booths left at MemphisCFC.com and go to Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention on Facebook and follow us.
And I want to go ahead and throw this out before we get back to Josh. Guys, we are closing out programming submissions on September 15th, which is 2 weeks from Monday.
Okay.
So if you want to get one in, hurry up. I've got limited spaces, but I'm looking for some really cool new ideas.
I think it's 3 weeks. I think your math's off. So,
is it?
Yeah.
It might be.
Okay. All right. Hey, but Josh, the Covington Comic Con is coming up. I can't believe it's
That's
5
right.
years. Well,
I know. It doesn't feel like it's already been 5 years, but 5 years of Covington Comic Con.
Well, tell us, for people that have never, been there, tell us about it.
It's if you've ever been to any convention or been to like MCFC before, it's essentially a very similar experience, just on a slightly smaller, like small town scale. And so we're going to be doing it October 4th this year, and it's going to be returning to the Covington Civic Center And we're going to have a great guest lineup. We're going to have lots of vendors, comic book vendors, people selling toys and collectibles and arts and crafts. And then, of course, we'll have the usual panels and a lot of the same stuff you can expect at a lot of the conventions. But we're excited about it, doing our 5th year. And we always have really good turnouts. And one thing we do special is every year for it, every single kid in the Tipton County school system gets a free pass.
Very smart
awesome.
business. Yeah. So, okay, October 4th, the Covington Comic Con, and we're going to continue talking about it when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
We couldn't even convince you that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Oh, come on. That millionaire playboy, he's too busy socializing at cocktail parties and managing the affairs of the Wayne Foundation.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Allan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass, and a man who doesn't visit often enough, although you do live way out in Covington.
I'm a little ways out, just a little bit.
Our good buddy Josh Mason, founder of Covington Comic Con, founder of Mason Studios, celebrating their 20-year anniversary this year. It doesn't, you don't look old enough to have filmed for 20 years.
That's what a lot of people have said when they hear that it's 20th anniversary of Mason Studios. But the key thing people have to remember is how young I was when I founded Mason Studios. I was literally a freshman in high school. So, I was very, very young when I started making movies.
Did you know Allan before you knew? Because, pulling back the Band-Aid here. Allan, you and Josh have worked together professionally.
I think I met Allan. I think we met, 2011, 2012, somewhere around then was when Allan and I met. So it was several years after I had started Mason Studios when we met.
Okay.
That was the fault of ghost hunting and a certain Van de Steeg.
That's right. Yeah. She's the one that got
Tanya
us.
Vandis. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, and so Josh, so October 4th is the 5th annual Covington Comic Con. And for one thing, Brandon, I'm not going to miss the weather. I'm looking forward to being out there where you can stand outside and not alive.
I'm looking forward to loading and unloading tables in much nicer weather this year. So traditionally, we've had it every August, and so this is our first year. We've pushed it back by about 2 months.
And of course, with our setup, you give us a really nice space out front.
Oh, we try,
but it's right where the sun's coming through, and it's like, I feel the fire.
Yeah, I'm not
the convention.
I'm not a summer fan. I'm definitely more of a fall guy, so this definitely fits more within my season.
Right.
Having it in October, so that's going to be nice. But
because you have outdoor things going on, you have food trucks, which I really appreciate, and you got the Ghostbusters.
We'll have some of the movie cars and stuff. We usually have the Ghostbusters, and then sometimes we'll have the Jurassic Park Jeep and all that sort of thing outside. But, no, we got some cool stuff going on this year. We've got Uploads of Fun are going to be there as one of our guests, and they've got a huge online following. So if you've seen those guys on TikTok or Instagram, I think they've got over 11 million followers. So huge following. Oh yeah, they've got them. That's and
a lot of followers.
They got one or two.
Uploads of Fun. That's good.
Yeah, no, they're going to be there, and then their buddy, who's also a friend of mine, Peter Prankster, he's going to be one of our guests, and he's also got millions of followers online, and I'll probably have their booths right next to mine, and I'll just angrily stare at them and their 100,000 subscriber plaques that they've got from YouTube. And then I joke with them and say I'm going to steal their YouTube plaques and scratch their names out and write Mason Studios in. So that's kind of my sneaky game plan.
Well, you also threatened at one point to strangle Elmo when you were talking to Peter, didn't you?
I did. I think I got it on video too. I got Peter strangling Elmo on video at one of the conventions. Yeah.
Well, we just need to do a sequel.
Yeah, we got to do the second.
Yeah, we need to do a sequel and get both our subscriber bases up. So
that's right. Yeah.
That's pretty fun, man. So and of course, great shopping. And you're doing panels. You're doing.
Oh yeah, we'll be doing all the usual Comic-Con stuff. Same stuff you could expect from MCFC.
Right.
We'll be doing it just more on a small town scale. And the cool thing about our convention is it is right there in the heart of the square of Covington. So when you leave, there's all these on top of the food trucks. There's all these different places to eat on the square. There's all the places to do shopping. So it's a really cool small town. It feels like it's something out of Back to the Future,
It is. It's literally a town square.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's a speakeasy in town.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know who owns that, but
Is the ice cream store going to be open?
That's going to be up to Tara, so we'll have to see. We get complaints about that every year because she either closes the store and sells the ice cream at the Comic-Con, or she'll keep the store open. I think there was one year she didn't have the ice cream at all. Like the store was closed and she wasn't selling at the Comic-Con. I think people lost their minds.
I remember that because, it's like you could go to the Comic-Con and she had at her booth, she had the free ice cream scoops.
Right.
But there was no ice cream. And it's like, This just feels wrong.
And if you don't know Tara, she's one of the other founders of the Covington Comic Con, and she runs a little ice cream shop on the square in Covington and makes the best ice cream in the world, like homemade. It's really, really good. So even if it's not during Covington Comic Con, if you ever come through Covington, you need to stop by Theo and Rose because it's good.
Oh, absolutely. So it's a good family experience too. I mean, and it's great shopping, and it really at this time of year, it's not too early to start thinking about getting ahead of your Christmas shopping.
Right. Yeah, and it's great for the cosplayers too, because of course we do the costume contest and all that stuff. So if you're into cosplay at all, it's a great opportunity to come out, show off your cosplay,
and not worry about sweating to death in armor.
Yeah, because it's actually going to be in October, which is going to be great, and it's a perfect season for cosplay because all the Halloween stuff is going to be out. So it's a little easier to get some of those costumes, I think, than earlier.
You saw what horrible thing we're doing at MCFC, right?
Which way is that? The zombie thing?
Well, the zombie after party is not the horrible part. We are putting parents through the ringer. We are doing trick or treat at MCFC with our vendors, and my wife is setting up these various stations with trinkets and buttons and all sorts of stuff. So we get to keep Halloween going, and let's just do it from the beginning of the Covington Comic Con all the way through to the end of MCFC.
Hey, I'm here for it. 100% on board for that.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, and it's smart too. You're doing this during the school year. And so you got time because you do tap into the school system. Which
it's one of our biggest things because every kid in the Tipton County school system we give a free pass to, as long as they're accompanied by an adult.
Yeah.
Right.
So if they're accompanied by a paying adult, they get free admission to the Covington Comic Con, and that always gets us really good turnout.
Yeah.
So I think, and we're starting earlier this year. We're just doing the Saturday, but we're going to open a little earlier, and then we're going to keep the convention running a little later into the evening. So it's going to be a full jam-packed Saturday we're going to have this year.
Okay, how do people get tickets? How do they learn more?
Yeah, so just visit CovingtonComicCon.com. We also have the Facebook page, Instagram. We're still in the midst of making guest announcements, so you can see our current guest lineup, as well as stay tuned for more announcements down the road. But just go get all your information there, and we look forward to seeing everybody October 4th.
And and if you want to, where's the best platform for them to follow? All of Mason Studios productions.
I always point everybody in the direction of the YouTube channel. That's where I'm trying to get my following up the most. I think we're currently at like 3,300 some odd followers on there, and of course I want my 100,000 plaque. So I'm still a little ways off.
Okay,
but any assistance we can get there.
All right, we're going to do our part when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody.
Max is showing his rage over there.
I'm Joe Thorderson, here with my buddies Brandon Olmstead and Allan Gilbreth, and our pal Max over there behind the glass. And in the house, our good buddy Josh Mason, founder of Covington Comic Con and founder of Mason Studios. But Max, your little soundbite there did remind me of something that Allan, if we've all heard stories about Hayden Christensen just being a really good guy, right? Good father, low key. I heard he went out and just got a normal job and just kind of didn't care about all the Hollywood stuff. Well, Josh, if I had any more reason to appreciate Hayden Christensen or look up to him, the other day I'm listening to a Cubs game, and he first of all, he threw out the first pitch. He was there at Wrigley Field with his daughter. And then they sang the seventh inning stretch. But what was great was when I finally saw the pictures, they gave him a Cubs jersey, and he's number 66.
66.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is. I mean, I'm guessing he's a Cubs fan. Why else would he do it?
Yeah, well, so I didn't know he was going to do that. I was in Chicago that weekend because I was there for Fan Expo, which he was a guest at.
That's how they got
him. And Ewan were there. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we didn't know, and I was actually there as part of the press, but they didn't even let the members of the press know that he was going to do that at the ball game, because a lot of them said they would have been there had they had known that. So I think it was kind of like a surprise. that they did. But yeah, it was cool that they had the jersey number is 66.
Well, they don't. Normally, Brandon, they'll sort of tease throughout the day. Like if you're listening to a Cubs game, they'll say, coming up at the 7th inning, we're going to have such and such. They didn't do any of that this time. They hit everybody blind, and the fans went nuts. It was it was cool. So
that's so cool.
But anyway, I really appreciated that. I wondered if he was in town for that. So you were there in Chicago?
I was there. Yeah, I was there. I was actually covering Fan Expo Chicago, and him and Ewan were both guests at that one. I'd already met them both at a prior convention down in San Antonio last year, but I can attest to the fact that they are both like two of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Like they're super humble and down to earth. So.
Yeah. I've always appreciated that. So, anyway, that was cool. So, well, Josh, you like to go to these. You really like the celebrity autographs. You'll wait in line for 4 hours to get an autograph.
Yeah,
right?
I have waited in some cases 4 hours. I think the longest I ever waited was 6 hours for William Shatner.
6
hours.
hours.
That was because I didn't know it was going to be 6 hours, but his plane kept getting delayed. And so,
we know about plane delays.
And the convention I was at, I won't say the convention. It wasn't a local one. It was one of the ones far off. But they kept lying to us, saying that he was only like an hour away. And then an hour would pass. I'm like, oh, he's only another hour away. And then before he knew it, 6 hours had passed.
Well, the thing was, he'd been an hour away at another airport, but
right. So
via airport, it would have only taken him an hour once he got off the ground.
Yeah. But no, they're fun. I love going to the conventions. I love getting to meet the celebrities. I'm just people think that I'm just like a celebrity fan, and that's not true. I'm a movie fan. Like, I'm a really big fan of movies, and so it's cool to go to these things.
Look,
and
Josh, I'm going to call you on your BS right now.
Yeah, I think you're kind of a fanboy. So,
I know you're not a celebrity fan. I know you're a movie fan. But the truth is you're a people fan. You like interacting with anybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't take offense to that at all. No, I appreciate that. I'd say that I try to get along with most everybody if I can.
Yeah, I found that to be true. Maybe that's why you're able to get your work done behind the camera too, because you just you
definitely
seem to bring out the best in people
to do the filmmaking and video production. I think you definitely have to be a people person because you work with so many people, and I like to think that my people skills to some degree have been responsible for a lot of the really cool stuff I've gotten to do, especially over the past year. I got to do a collaboration with the Georgie kid, Jackson Robert Scott from It. Got to meet Star Wars Theory. I've gotten to produce content for Nelly, the hip-hop artist. So, there's just been a lot of... Just last week, I got to interview the cast of Aliens, which is something I never thought I would get to do.
Oh, wow.
So there's just been a lot of opportunities and things over the past year, and I think a lot of it is because I like to think I'm a people person to some degree.
Oh, dude.
So,
It's like,
I'd say that's 90% of how you get things done, honestly.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I look at the way your career has gone since we've known you. It's like you've grown as a filmmaker. I mean, you're hitting up. You're well known in the con circuit. You've got your own con, and it has to come down to people skills because any other, it's like if you can't get along with the people, you would quit.
That's right.
You would just quit everything
right.
because everything that you're involved in, it encompasses a ton of people. So, yeah. And I've seen you stand there and talk to someone who was just randomly somebody's handler.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'll if I go up and meet a celebrity and they've got a handler, I treat the handler, I shake their hand, introduce myself just the same as I would treat the celebrity. You got to treat everybody the same, because they're all, at the end of the day, everybody's a person.
I guess it was, what was it, MegaCon, where you were actually a guest, but you were really kind of like going out and talking to everybody else.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, I was. Yeah, no, I was still going around, introducing myself to everybody. But no, I appreciate that. I definitely try to be a people person. But again, a lot of the success and things I've achieved and everything, I blame you guys for, because that first MCFC really did set me on a path that has led me to a lot of these cool opportunities that I've gotten to do. So, like I always like to say, it's Joe and Brandon's fault.
No, but Allan,
we knew him when.
Allan, you can attest to this.
And Allan's fault too.
It's all well. People have ideas and they say things, but until you actually do it and get the job done, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's pick on our communities for just a moment. And it's one thing to talk a good game. It's one thing to watch somebody else do it. Am I a fan of going to conventions? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And but now let me throw in a caveat.
You've been there, done that.
I've been there and done that more years than I even want to remember. However, if you've got something to do, you've got a purpose.
Yeah.
And you're going to aim for it. That is when this entire industry comes to life. If you're just going to be a spectator on the side, get involved. Talk to somebody. You've never shot a movie before? You got a phone? Mm-hmm. It can take a movie. Do something. Get involved. And I'm going to say Josh Mason is a wonderful poster child of, I've never done that before. I'm going to go do that in about 10 minutes.
Oh, thank you, sir. No, I appreciate
but you know that you follow the same business that Prince did. He worked fast and he got it done.
You know,
That's
Brandon lives for Halloween. Joe, you're the kind that looked at it and went, "Oh no, let's try it."
Yeah,
go
for it. So,
and this is what makes the con industry so much fun, and why you should be involved.
So October 4th, the 5th annual Covington Comic Con. Go to covingtoncomiccon.com to get you more information. But you guys, we got to get out of here. So until next week, we are the Geek Patrol, and I am Joe Thorderson.
I'm Allan Gilbreth.
I'm Maximilian.
I'm Josh Mason.
And I am Brandon Olmsted, reminding you to check in next week where we will both bully and shill some more.